Hey, how's it going? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bound to Talk Football. I'm your host, Blake Walker, and back with me after after a break is Paul Arridge, who survived spaghetti with mystery meat at the UNI cafeteria and survived food poisoning. Paul, good to have you back.
Yep. Did some unspeakable things to me, but I'm back in it. I really think I was hallucinating.
Don't go that far.
But
Well, we had it was a lonely episode on Tuesday, but I pulled through. Ready to do preview for this week. We didn't do a preview last week because our schedules didn't match, but we're back on it this week. A lot of good games, a lot of big games, like must-win games for a lot of teams this week. We don't want to waste anyone's time, so we're going to jump right into it. Probably will be a shorter episode today. We're just going over the games, giving our thoughts. We'll start out with our 5A game of the week, Paul. Oh, also Paul and I will make our picks for these games, but 5-0 Dowling Catholic versus 3-2 Ankeny Centennial. You and I are on a different path on this game because I saw your pick and I made my pick on the post. But we'll start out with basically, what's your quick thought? Like, summarize what happens in this game because this game's a lot. It's going to be very good. This game should be.
Yeah, I see. These two teams like to run the ball. Obviously, Centennial's been known for that, and Dowling also. I mean, they've had that versatility of being able to throw the ball, but they're run-first team at heart. Defenses, both of them have been really good this year for both teams, except for Centennial having one kind of week one lapse. Centennial, I think everyone's kind of been hyping up recently. Kind of been one of the more hyped up teams after barely losing to Southeast Polk. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of stars playing in this game. There's a lot of studs.
I think if you're Ankeny, you can lose this game. And I know that sounds weird, but you'll be 3-3, which is just weird. But they're the best 3-3 team in the state if they lose. Yeah. Dowling has yet to just wow us yet. And it's a Tom Wilson-led group. It's not like they're going to go out and wow us all the time, but nothing has really jumped off the page that much. They're just all-around fundamentally sound football team. A couple of the notes I wrote down, this is the best defense Centennial will face all year. I think Dowling's defense is better than Southeast Polk's. Not by much, but I think it is. I think you said throw or run the ball. I think you have to throw the ball if you're Centennial. I think Trenton Smith has to be able to make plays. Elijah Porter, Trenton Smith, big one. And then I think this is Dante Cataldo's legacy game. I feel like, he's played well, but they haven't called on him to do a ton. This might be the night that he has to really go for it and say, all right, assert yourself as one of the top quarterbacks in the class that can lead your team to a state championship. It's really good. Is it at Dowling? No, it's in Centennial.
Yeah, it's at Centennial.
First time these two teams have played since 2019. That feels really hard to believe. Why are these teams not playing each other more often?
It's weird. I remember that game.
So, Paul, give me your prediction. I've seen it, but explain your prediction.
I like Centennial in this one. I think that's, for most people, I think that would be bold. I'm assuming I'll probably be one of the only ones on our fan.
You are one of three.
Oh, okay. So it's Centennial faithful, huh? Yeah, I just like Centennial's offense. I think they'll be able to score against Dowling's defense. And, I mean, honestly, quarterback, I kind of lean towards Centennial here pretty heavily. Now, Rashad Davis, I think, is going to go for probably 150-plus and a couple tutties because that's what he does. But I like Centennial's ability to score ball against this team. I think defensively, we've seen opposing defenses kind of hold Dowling a little bit. I mean, Valley did it, and, I mean, Ankeny didn't really do it. Rashad Davis also just went absolutely nuts that game. So, I don't know. I like Centennial in this one. Part of it's a gut feeling. I also like the home team, but Dowling does play pretty well at Ankeny Stadium. I'm pretty sure they haven't lost there in a long time because I'm trying to remember. At Ankeny, we never beat them there. And Centennial, I don't think ever beat them there either.
I think for now, I'm going to go with Dowling. I think the coaching matchup is insane. Coach Bizzetti versus Tom Wilson. That's just awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. two very good coaches. I don't think the winner of this game scores more than 20 points. And maybe that's just me, but I just don't see that becoming a high-scoring game. I just feel like this is going to be a very tough-nosed, gritty game. And if it's that, I think it favors Dowling. So I'm going to take Dowling. I love the Centennial pick. I think it's great. You can watch this game on WHO on Friday night, Channel 13. Yeah, I'll go with Dowling. I'll stick with the big guys up front, but I think Centennial very well could win this game. Another big one, Paul. I think you and I both might have the same prediction on this one. 5-0 Bettendorf gets their first second test over Cedar Rapids Kennedy. They beat Pleasant Valley week 1. Take that as you will, since it's week 1, but they throttled Pleasant Valley, who was looking very good. This is pretty plain and Jane. You have one of the best defenses in the state versus the best offense in the state. And which one prevails? I think the best offense in the state prevails.
Yeah, this is a tough one because you can kind of say the best defense in the state or one of the best defenses in the state. But to be fair, offensives they've faced, I mean, looking at those teams, I don't think a single one's over 500 besides Pleasant Valley.
That PV game is just so weird because PV is statistically very good. It's just like, what in the world happened?
Yeah, Bettendorf's an interesting team. Stat sheet wise, it's not like a crazy one. Me and you both, I'm assuming, like Kennedy in this one, right?
Yeah, I do. The offense is so good. They've just clicked. I mean, lost by 1 to Pleasant Valley. Could have gone either way. Held pretty strong against Dowling Catholic for a week 1 game. You know, I think they're on track. I think, Cyrus Courtney's an unbelievable wide receiver. Can Bettendorf cover him? That's the big one. I think Bettendorf has to run the ball. They have to establish a ground game, but I just like the Kennedy offense just a little bit more. And Kennedy gets this at home.
Yeah, and it's not like Kennedy can't run the ball either.
No.
Yeah, 867 yards, 5.4 yards a carry.
And they haven't had to face – Bettendorf hasn't had to face a pass-heavy team. Pleasant Valley's a run-heavy team. So, you can stop the run, but can you stop the pass? So I guess this is an upset. I'll go with Kennedy.
Yeah, I like Kennedy. It's at home too. I'm gonna be impressed with Bettendorf if they hang with Kennedy here.
If Bettendorf wins this game, I'm all in on Bettendorf.
Yeah, I'm all in on them making that dome if they win this game.
Yeah. I think they're right there. So we'll both take Kennedy. Should be a great game, though. I'm sure Bettendorf will use this against us, but go Bulldogs, go Cougars should be a good one. A very crucial game, Paul. This one is a must-win for both teams. Ankeny 3-2 takes on Cedar Rapids Prairie at 3-2. This is a very rush-heavy offense versus a pass-heavy offense. Prairie being the rushing side, can pass the ball a little bit, and then Ankeny in the pass offense. Ankeny has played a very tough schedule, a little bit tougher than Prairie. I know Prairie's played good teams. There's no doubt about that, but I just like Ankeny's team just a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think the Hawks are just hot right now. They beat Johnston, who was a big win for them because preseason-wise, I don't think anyone would have saw that happening. And Iowa City West, they handled, which they were supposed to do. Or I guess some people maybe had a close game, but I think they did what they needed. Yeah, I like Ankeny in this one. I think they're in a buzzsaw right now. I think they're hot. They've got guys on offense. There's my surprise team still. I said they'd win out earlier in an episode, I believe, and I'm going to have to stick with that.
I'm with you. I'm fully on it. I think they could easily win out the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So
how about, I don't know where this ranks in the state, but Prairie is 60.5 tackles for loss.
Jeez. Well, they didn't get them against Southeast Polk because I called that game. They weren't tackling against Southeast Polk in that game.
They had to have a game where they just dropped like 30 TFLs.
Yeah, something like that. We'll both roll with the Hawks from the CIML to take out the team out east. Here's a couple more teams out east. Another, you guessed it, must-win game, I think, for Cedar Falls. I think Cedar Falls will make the playoffs, but they sure have just not been the team that we thought they are. Drake Gelhaus has not been playing consistently, I guess, or not playing. Gertis has been the main ball carrier. Cedar Falls 3-2, taking on Pleasant Valley at 4-1. This PV team's pretty good, man. I said it before. Cedar Falls defense has to step up. They just got to be there. I think PV is one of the best running teams in the state. They're just hard to stop. I wrote down the best quarterback in this game wins because I think it comes down to the quarterback play between these two teams.
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, Cedar Falls, especially since they have offensive line guys that are like studs. It's been kind of a weird season for them after the preseason hype. Big game for Cedar Falls, in my opinion. I think Pleasant Valley could afford to slip up here. Not that they want to. Gonna be a ground and pound game. Like, what are you thinking? Like 14-7?
You thinking 14-7, or am I thinking 14-7?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking low scoring.
Yeah, I'll go like 27-20 around that range because PV puts up numbers. I mean, they score points. They scored 56 against Liberty. They scored 36 against Kennedy. They scored 10 against Bettendorf. But other than that, they're putting up points. Cedar Falls has been a little inconsistent. But, yeah, I think I'm going to give it to PV, though. I just think Cedar Falls is still just trying to put a couple things together. I've been high on them all year, and I'm not quite letting go of them yet because I don't think they're at full strength. But I just think PV has a little bit better ground attack. So,
gotcha. For me, I don't know. It's a tough one. I kind of for some reason, I'm like Cedar Falls, but it's kind of
do it, roll it.
Go Cedar Falls. Give me Cedar Falls.
There you go.
Go Tigers.
Last 5A game we're going to talk about. I'm going to let this go simple. 2-3 Johnston takes on 5-0 Southeast Polk. Give me a percentage out of 100. What is Johnston's percentage to win this game? And how can they do it? How are they going to win this game if they do win it?
Give Johnston a 15% chance.
Okay. And how is that 15% going to work? My answer is very
Moberly.
Yeah,
they get to Connor Moberly.
Yep.
Force turnovers on Southeast Polk, so they force Southeast Polk to turn over the ball, and they don't have turnovers.
I think Will Nutt has to have the best game of his high school career. Honestly, I just see it. Can't turn the ball over. You just cannot, and I put it in all caps. I said, don't turn the ball over. That has been Johnston's Achilles heel. It's what lost him their game last week. I was talking to Coach Zelenovich yesterday. He's like, I'm not kidding. Johnston is maybe 4 or 5 plays away from being 5-0. And I'm like, yeah, honestly. I mean, looking at it, yeah. I mean, the Waukee Northwest loss, close. Cedar Falls scored late, close. Ankeny, close. Turned the ball over too many times. It's just a matter. Yeah.
It's just ugly.
When is Johnston going to turn the corner? Like, we're waiting for it. We're like, okay, is this it? Is this it? Is this the week? Because here's the thing, Paul. This is a very good defense. Like, we can't sleep on Johnston's defense. Very, very talented.
Yeah. No, you're right. They've been pretty good, like really good this year.
Only gave up 7.
Looking at their offense, like, they want a little some points put up on the board. That would be probably the biggest thing is Johnson get over 24. Is that defense?
Maybe that's the magic number.
Yeah.
And like they don't run the ball very well at all. Like they're just not they are going to go to the air. And if it's not working in the air, then they're just kind of one-dimensional. You can't do anything. But I think I'll take the Rams, but I think Johnston, I think this is a closer game than people think. I think the Dragons will make it closer. So
I'd definitely say there's a path for Johnston to win this game.
Boy, what a turn it would be if they did win it.
Yeah. There's a path, which I wouldn't say that about a lot of CIML teams.
No, that's the thing. Like, Johnston could be 2-4 next week, and I'm like, keep an eye on these boys, Also, let's rewind just a second. Does Johnston hold any grudges after last November at the Unidome? Do you think they remember?
I think Southeast Polk's too good for that to even, like...
I was talking when I talked to Zelenovich yesterday, I'm like, did you look at film? Do you go back and look at that, like, ever for this game? And he's like, not really. He's like, personnel changes. He's like, it was a great win for us, but he's like, I'm sure maybe they'll go back and look at it. So, I don't know, man. Should be interesting. That's your 5A games. Good slate of 5A, very important 5A games. There's important games all over the place. We'll jump down to Class 4A. 2-3 Ballard takes on 4-1 North Polk. North Polk, good team. Only losses to Webster City, which that loss is looking interesting as the weeks go by. I wanted to put Ballard on here because this isn't a bad matchup statistically in a way. I think the Bombers are a pretty good team. They're going to be one of those teams that's right on the cusp. Like, might make it, might not make it, but North Polk might have a pretty good shot here with the passing attack.
Yeah, that North Polk staple win comes at that Bondurant game, week 1. Absolute shootout to start the year. The Webster City game just is a weird one.
Just weird.
They were
honestly
too.
Yeah, just a weird game.
And for Ballard, they've hung with Pella, and Pella beat Xavier, who I guess we're kind of high on. There's been some.
We'll get to
it. Like a weird feeling with Xavier, but yeah, Ballard's a pretty decent squad. I just like North Polk here. I do too. Going on the road and getting it done because they've been. I think they'll be fine this year. I want to look at their remaining schedule. If you want to fill in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what they have left.
Indianola, Boone, ADM.
All right, so circle the ADM game. That was a big one last year.
7-2, very, very possible.
Yeah,
good year.
I love our boys. I love Cade over at IA Sports, but they had North Polk ranked 3rd in their rankings, and I was like, all right, that's all right. It's kind of a weird one.
I don't know.
What?
Sorry for it. I don't know enough. I'd have to.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Man, there is a dog playing with a ball upstairs, and he's bouncing that ball everywhere. Okay, we're on to our Class 4A game of the week. I tossed and turned on this one, Paul. 3-2 Xavier takes on 4-1 North Scott. I'm gonna come out and say it. I'm picking Xavier.
Okay, we're lockstep, but this is I think we're lockstep.
Yeah. Tell me why you pick Xavier. Tell me why you're picking Xavier.
I like Xavier just because I think there's urgency there now. I think there's a little bit of like, we're good, but we're not like top dog yet. And I think that most people around the state realize that. This is a team they've handled in the past, and I think they're going to come in and just try to replicate that. They play a lot. They played last year in the Dome, right? And then they also played in the regular season that year. Quarterback matchup wise, this is a crazy quarterback matchup.
Yeah, it is.
Kyler Girardi.
Last time, Ronan Thomas, Kyle Girardi. Last time Xavier didn't make it to the Dome, they got beat by, guess who? North Scott. 9-3 was the final score of that football game back in 2019. So that was fun. I'm with you. I think Xavier has urgency, and this is just a bad time to get him. I feel like if you're North Scott, I get it. North Scott's good, but then I'm also going about chain of reaction. North Scott lost to Western Dubuque. Western Dubuque lost to Xavier. So, it's just Xavier's defense is still good, man. Like, I get it. They struggled against Pella. But here's the thing. This North Scott team schematically is like Pella. They have a quarterback that can throw the ball and he can run the ball. So now Xavier's seen somebody. They've seen Luke Hardman. Now they can watch Kyle Girardi. And I think that and it's at home, and I'm not doubting Coach Schulte. I'm not doing it. I just think it's going to be close, but I just like Xavier. Just a little.
For me with Xavier, I'm just readjusting my expectations. They really looking at their resume. So a lot of people, I think, would just kind of blanket a bad year for them in a way because you expect undefeated or one loss for Xavier. They barely lost to Williamsburg by going for 2. They beat Western Dubuque, which is a massive win. And then Pella, we don't know. That's the one thing that's like a question mark on their resume.
Yeah.
So they're not falling off or mid. They're just barely losing them.
And that's the same thing with North Scott. You got a great win over Assumption, and then who is a 3A school, but good win over Assumption, and then you lost to Western Dubuque by not much. So, and they I think Western Dubuque, like we said, scored really a lot of points there in that fourth quarter to kind of catch back up in that one. So, it's a toss-up, man. I love this matchup, but I'll take Xavier. Give me the Saints. We're both rolling with the Saints. Another good one that, boy, Marion can be put themselves on the map if they pull this off. 4-1 Western Dubuque and 4-1 Marion. Sneaky good year by the Wolves. Western Dubuque's team, though, it's a good team.
Yeah. Western Dubuque, I'm going to lean with them just because of the resume. They've played some,
I think so too.
Top dogs.
Who has Marion played?
They played Waterloo East. Oh, my gosh. Pronunciation's about to be brutal.
Uh-oh. Take a shot.
God. Oh, God. Matt Makokata.
Yeah.
Hey,
you did it.
Center Point Urbana.
Urbana.
Yep. Shoot, I got one wrong.
Who'd they lose to? Who'd
they lost to Benton.
How much did they lose to Benton by?
38-7.
Well, guess what? Benton runs the ball a lot, and Western Dubuque runs the ball a lot. So I'm going to take Western Dubuque. But if Marion can pull this off, keep an eye on it. Maybe we need to be talking about Marion a little bit more. But I just like the Bobcats a little bit more.
Me as well. And Bobcats are on the road. There you go.
Yeah, it's a new stadium.
Get out there.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. I wanted to throw this in here because it was on our podcast on Tuesday. I just want to get your thoughts because if you look at the stat page, I just want to see. Carlisle's 1-4. They take on 5-0 Gilbert. A lot of people have commented this week saying, not even Carlisle fans, not even Gilbert fans, that I think they're just hoping Gilbert falls because they're tired of seeing Gilbert be 5-0, even though in most polls they're not very high. But Carlisle, do they have a shot this week to upset the Tigers?
Yes.
All right. There you go. What do you see that makes you think that?
I see a team that Dallas Centers and Grimes, 14-12. Like a not really stateful blowouts or anything. They're not blowing out teams that I feel like a top 5 team or
Carlisle's played a tougher schedule.
Yeah,
I will say
played a way tougher schedule. They've hung with some teams I consider okay. I mean, they have been blown out quite a bit. But I think Carlisle can get it done here. They're going on the road, which is kind of suspect if you're expecting them to get upset on the road against a 5-0 team. Thing is, what you want Gilbert to kind of be sleeping because if they're ready for this, it's kind of hard to catch a 5-0 team sleep. It is just interesting, though, with how schedules work now. Like, there's always, I feel like this is a storyline every
it's
year.
True. Yeah, every team,
6-0 that's played really no one, and then a team that's played like all the dogs has to play them, and it's like actually a big game.
I will say, Gilbert, I think this is it. One more week, and then what? Bondurant? Is that it? It's soon. I know it's soon. And then Pella. Yep. So the train is coming. You got to be ready for
Bondurant, Newton, and Pella back to back.
Yeah. So no sleepers at all. Like
2 of those
there's
are on
a world.
The road. 2 of those are on the road too.
Yeah. So I don't know. Be ready. Gilbert's got to be ready. Winning is good. Winning cures a lot, but don't get too excited. But should be a good one. I'll run it with Gilbert. I think they take care of business, but I think it'll be closer than some people think. Glenwood 3-2 versus Winterset 2-3. Winterset's a good team. 2-3. They really play well. They turn the ball over a little bit. Is this danger zone territory for Glenwood? Because they are going to Winterset on their homecoming. I'd be a little worried I'm not worried. I'd be a little, hesitant if I was Glenwood going into this game.
Yeah, the Lewis Central game's kind of a black spot on their resume. I like Glenwood in this game, but I see that reasoning.
What's Glenwood's best win right now?
Best win, Sioux City East and Schleswig, but hey, they hung with Harlan.
Okay, Denison.
Yeah.
Lost to Harlan barely. Yeah. Interesting. I'll go with Winterset. Give me the Huskies.
If you're a big score guy, Glenwood beat Atlantic 47-6. Winterset beat Atlantic 21-0.
All right. Take that as you will.
Yeah.
All right. Class 4A is done. We'll jump down to 3A. Paul, again, this is another one that I literally almost couldn't pick. 4-1 Algona takes on 5-0 Clear Lake. And at the end of the day, I said Clear Lake's defense is better, and that's what I have winning it. Is I have Clear Lake.
We're different. I have Algona.
Yeah. Well, I knew you were going to choose Algona from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I'm big on Algona this year. If you don't know already, pick them to go to the Dome. They've got the best quarterback in this class, and obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the state, in Alex Mansky. And I don't know, Clear Lake, I mean, opponent-wise, not crazy.
Not great.
Webster City's a big win, but I mean,
10-2.
Yeah, 10-2 is not really that. It's impressive defensively. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Clear Lake has Thomas Meyer, who's been great tight end this year, and he's a great D end. I'm sure he'll play. I think he'll play D end later in college. But yeah, this is an interesting game. I like Algona though. I like it.
I think if Clear Lake's going to win, you got to force a pick. And Alex Mansky isn't throwing picks. He hasn't thrown one all year, but you got to force a turnover or something. And Titan Schmidt and that offense have to be ready to go because Algona's defense, I just don't think Algona's defense is as good. I think that's the big one that I really was going after. Algona's offense is good. I'm not going to doubt that. The Bulldog defense just isn't quite as good as Clear Lake is all around, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Take it as you will. Should be a good game. Toss up. I think it's split 4-4 between our pick groups.
This is a crazy week of games.
Yeah, it's very good.
This doesn't happen normally. I feel like weeks past.
Oh, just wait till
district.
You should see the week 9 Class 5A schedule. You're not going to be very happy.
Is it bad?
It's bad. It's really bad.
That's how it usually is.
Oh yeah. Another big one could have been our Class 3A game. There are 3 games here that could have been our Class 3A game of the week. 4-1 Assumption takes on 4-1 Mount Vernon. Who are you taking, Paul? This is a very good game.
I like Assumption in this one.
Darn, I thought it was going to be different. Yep, I am too.
We're step for step here. I like Angelo Jackson mainly. I think that they've been explosive on offense. They're balanced as well. Mount Vernon just hasn't been able to run the ball as well this year. 4.5 yards a carry this year, 609 yards. I think that's big. And we've seen this Assumption team gets the benefit of having to go up classes and play legit.
Almost beat North Scott.
Yeah. So there's a lot of respect there. It's kind of nice if you're Assumption because you kind of get that confidence when you get to go down and play smaller schools. So yeah, I like Assumption here. They are going on the road, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think this is the first game at the new stadium for Mount Vernon.
Oh baby. Yeah, I looked at the Google Maps thing, and it's on a stitches and stuff shop and not a stadium. So
they're gonna play at a Stitches shop. There you go. Yeah, I think I'm with you. We can take the Solon losses we can because it's a rivalry, but Solon ran over Mount Vernon, just ran the ball like crazy. Assumption's going to do better than that. Assumption destroyed Solon. May we remember that. I'm talking to you, IA Sports guys. Solon was just run through by Assumption. So I just feel like Assumption, I think it'll be close, but this is where people start. If you weren't already paying attention to Assumption, you're going to pay attention to Assumption after this week. So we'll take it. This is another really sneaky game. This is in a interesting district. This is basically the fight for second in this district. It feels like 4-1 Benton takes on 4-1 Solon. Solon's played a tougher schedule. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Spartans, but if you love the running game, you're going to love this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling up the stats right now because I accidentally pulled up Webster City versus Hampton, which is the next game we're talking about. But yeah, Benton just runs the ball an unspeakable amount. Passing doesn't matter. I don't know. It's a tough one. I like Solon kind of because they're at home, and I think their defense.
Solon.
God dang it, Solon. Their defense is legit.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I like teams. If a team's facing a team's very good at running the ball and they're facing a team that's really good at defense, I usually lean towards the defense.
Yeah. Bro, Solon Williamsburg in a couple weeks. That's going to be fun. That has produced unbelievable games the last couple years. So keep an eye out for that one. I think Benton's good. I think they'll finish 7-2, 6-3. Well, probably 7-2, honestly. Their last tough game will be against Grinnell here in a couple weeks. So yeah, I like Benton, or I like Solon in this one. So last one, 3-2 Webster City takes on 4-1 Hampton Dumont Cal. Hampton Dumont Cal's got to wake up. They got stunned last week by Humboldt, kind of one of those like, whoa, what in the world? Webster City got to wake up. You've lost 2 out of your last 3. 2 out of your last 3. It's go time for both these teams. The question is, can Hampton Dumont Cal stop the run like other teams have been?
I mean, yeah, you nailed it right there. It's so hard to be able to win when your team is so one-dimensional. I mean, Webster City is 20 total passes this year.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
I hate to do it. I doubted Hampton Dumont Cal before against Nevada. I'm not going to do it again. I think Hampton Dumont Cal wins this game.
I'm agree with you. I think one-dimensional teams just can't win in big matchups. And
you're 100% right.
Yeah. North Polk was a interesting game. I think that was like just Jackson Cherry willing them to victory there. But
yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, man. Going to be interesting. We're both going to roll with the Bulldogs to take it over the Lynx. We'll go to Class 2A. We only got 2 games. It's a very down week in Class 2A. We'll go 3-2 Cherokee Washington takes on 5-0 West Lyon. I mean, I both know what we're going to pick here, but intriguing game. Cherokee Washington has started 3-0 and has lost 2 straight. They've met a buzzsaw of a schedule. I more just want to hear your thoughts on West Lyon because I think this team is going to be fun. Like Central Lyon, West Lyon, we keep talking about it, is going to be a blast in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that Central Lyon or West Lyon's defense, has been ridiculous this year. I'm interested. I mean, that's got to be up there in the top points per game allowed.
What are their point totals they've given up?
So they've given up 2 week 1, 12 week 2, 0, 0, and then 3.
Wow. Yeah, honestly.
So basically 3 shutouts.
Yeah.
Safeties doesn't really count. That's crazy.
Yeah. Jeez. Boy, what happens when immovable object meets an unstoppable force against Central Lyon? That's literally the best defense in the state versus arguably, honestly, Central Lyon's offense might be overall the best offense in the state.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, it's just I think West Lyon is going to compete with Central Lyon a little bit, and Cherokee Washington got beat 52-7.
Yeah, so
that's my reasoning.
This one's fun. Another must-win, not must-win, but a very important game. Des Moines Christian 3-2 takes on Kemper Catholic 3-2. I like Kemper's losses more, if that makes sense, Paul. And that's what really went into my judgment on this game. I'm going to take Kemper. The Des Moines Christian loss to Pella Christian wasn't great. I know Pella Christian's good, but Tate Platt's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. But Kemper's got a pretty good quarterback as well.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a good quarterback battle. I think I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to pick Des Moines Christian. And my reasoning is I like Tate Platt. I think he was going to have a big game. Kemper, honestly, is kind of disappointed in me this season in a weird way. Mainly because I don't – DJ Boname, or I hope I said his name right, just hasn't been putting up like crazy numbers this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's an injury or something like that. But I think was kind of a big part of who they were going to be this year. So he's still playing. It's just not as effective as I thought. So
yeah.
That's my reasoning. It's going to be is this right? Blake? It says on Bound that we're playing this at Carroll.
Yeah, it's at Kemper is Carroll.
Kemper's Carroll. Okay, I'm
yeah. Carroll Athletic Stadium. Yep.
I don't know it like that, but
so yeah, you get a home game. That's a plus. So
yeah.
I think,
but you're right. The losses for Kemper are way better.
I think I'm having a photographer go to this game. I'll have to confirm, but I don't know. Should be a good one. I'll go with Kemper. He'll go with Des Moines Christian. Big game for both teams. Who can get to that 4th win? I think that's important. We'll go to Class 1A, where, again, 4 possible games of the week. Honestly, could have been. We'll start with the number 1 that was our fan favorite of the week. I tossed it around, but since we had just had them last week, I mean, either way, we're going to be everywhere. But 4-1 Sumner Fredericksburg versus 5-0 Denver. Aren't you glad you didn't have to pick this one for your post, Paul? I'm going to go with the Cyclones. I'm still going to roll with Denver. I think that offensive attack is really good. Sumner has been doubted. Trust me, I know. I've doubted Sumner. I picked MFL Marmac last week. I think Sumner's a very good team. But I am in on this Denver team, and I'm not going to back out.
Yeah, I'm in on Denver as well. I think Micah Greer has been really good this year. I mean, Sumner's just got some weird stats. Like 3.6 yards to carry. He's got to be one of the lower ones in the state, and they're 4-1.
And they played a much tougher schedule than Denver. I'll give them that.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, it looks like they're forcing turnovers. But, wow. Oh, my God. So is Denver. 18 total turnovers forced. They've got 10 interceptions.
Yeah.
2 pick sixes.
Oh, just wait. There's like a team and 8 player that I think has 16 picks this year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'll take Denver. You'll take Denver. I think Sumner Fred's a good team. Don't get me wrong. Denver is good as well. It's a home game for the Cyclones. Tyler's going to be at this game, so hopefully we get to see some fun stuff. 4-1 Underwood takes on 5-0 Trainer. I'm going to be honest, Paul. Out of 7 people that have submitted picks in our thing, 4 people have taken Trainer in this game. I am not one of those people, and you are not one of those people. We're both taking Underwood. Did they not see Underwood's only loss on the season?
I think they saw 5-0 in at home.
I think I like to think our guys and girls look at the stats, but I saw those picks, and even Matt picked Trainer. I'm like, Matt, what are we looking at? Nothing against Trainer. They're a great team, but Underwood is playing very well, and they've only lost to Van Meter by 7 points. Nobody's even touched Van Meter this year, and Trainer's just barely scraping away. It just feels like a couple games this year.
Yep, 100% with you. We both agree on this one. I mean, last year this was 54-0.
Yeah. And you know how much changed from last year to this year? Not much.
Not much. New quarterback, I think. Assuming Garrett Lutt didn't start as a sophomore, a freshman.
Yeah. We'll just have to see. Pella Christian 4-1 versus Sigourney Kyoto 4-1. If you look back at like previous scores between these two teams, this has been such a competitive game the last couple of years. This one's a tough one. Pella Christian's only loss is Grundy Center. Sigourney Kyoto's only loss is, I'm not entirely sure. Who do they got?
They lost to PCM.
Give me Pella Christian.
Yep, that's what we both are going to agree because
now,
I mean, Pella Christian beat PCM, but it was also like a hair.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't by much. But both confirm with me, haven't both these teams rushed for almost close to 1,000 yards this year?
Sigourney's nearing the 2,000 mark, kind of. They're at 1,500.
So Pella Christian's a little bit more even.
Balanced, yeah.
Gotcha. Turnovers. Read me turnovers. Now, INTs, what do we got?
Like forced for the defense?
Forced, yeah.
So 6 receptions for both teams. I mean, there's 1 turnover difference. Both 11 and 10.
Sigourney Kyoto gets the home game in this one, but I'll just, you know what? I'm going to switch it. Home game, tough. I know Sigourney Kyoto, tough team to play, good history. Give it to me. I'll take Sigourney Kyoto. I'll switch. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close.
As this is on paper, this is so close. I'm going to go Sigourney as well. Just the home field advantage kind of gives it to me. I do kind of like that Pella can throw the ball, though. At least like a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. This will be like 15-14. That's what the final score of this game is going to be.
Or
final one.
PCM games because.
Yeah. Final one for Class 1A. I think we're both going to choose the same again. 4-1 MFL Marmac takes on 3-2 Dykno Hartford. I'm big on these Dykno Hartford boys. I'm taking the Wolverines. MFL Marmac lost their first.
I thought when you said that.
I thought you would. So here's my reasoning. MFL played their first true test of the year against Sumner Fred. Sumner Fredericksburg lost to Dykno Hartford. I'm just using that. Plus, their defense is unbelievable. Their offense is figuring things out. I think Dykno Hartford beats MFL Marmac this week.
Yep, I'm with you. I did not think we'd be with each other there. So my main reasoning is similar to that. I think this Dyke New Hartford defense is too good to give up like any type of room for error. And I mean, they played good against Grundy.
Yeah.
They played good against Osage. They played good against West Branch. They beat Sumner. I think this team's legit. I don't think their record says that at all. I think it's like on paper, like a 4-1 team. So I like Dyke New Hartford here. I think this is like I said it earlier in the year. I was like, I think they're gonna get that win. That's like an upset. That defensive team.
Technically, yeah, Sumner Fredericksburg was that big upset. So
yeah, and
just
now
keep piling it on.
Yeah, just keep piling it. You're rocking with the Wolverines, though. Didn't you have them in the dome?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I had.
You were thinking that's what it was. We were both
yeah,
like,
I was on the edge. Yeah,
it's not that.
I was on the edge. So I don't know. I was close. My Osage pick looked terrible. I'm just telling you right now. I don't want to go back and look. All right, time for Class A. Madrid 5-0 takes on Central Decatur 4-1. I'd love to see Madrid's like opponent record because man, I feel like they're just playing good teams every single week. Central Decatur not close, not as good. I mean, they've played most of the same teams, but I think Preston Wicker and the boys keep the train rolling, and I think they stay undefeated this week.
Madrid, right? Is 3-0 against above 500 teams. Opponent record's 20-20. I think that's their entire schedule.
Yeah,
their entire schedule. So it's not just the 5 teams they played. It's including like the last 2 teams, which are I don't think that great. But I'm rocking with Madrid. I keep thinking soccer. I think Preston Wicker has been ridiculous this year. I don't see him slowing down.
Yeah. 4-1 West Hancock versus 4-1 South Central Calhoun. I feel bad for anyone that has to face this West Hancock team because I feel like St. Ansgar made them so mad. I love what South Central Calhoun's doing, but I think West Hancock gets through easily here in this one. At least that's how I see this thing shaking out. And
I'm with you there as well. I kind of like that thought process there. West Hancock's we know that they're a team that usually just feels unbeatable in this class. And I think that loss is kind of like a wake-up call for them.
They are number 3 in the Iowa High School Athletic Association rankings above undefeated Madrid. So that tells you all you need to know about how the committee of 4 guys thinks about West Hancock. So last one, 5-0 Woodbury Central taking on 4-1 Kingsley Pearson. If it wasn't for the Logan Magnolia loss, I might have more thoughts about this one, but I just think Woodbury Central, nobody's talking about them, man. They're just still so good.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I like Duke. I like the quarterback, Duke Lunder, and they've blown out everyone but Lawton Bronson. So Westwood, I guess, was kind of a 17-point game.
Whatever, close.
Whatever you want to call that. But, both teams kind of throw the ball. Rare.
Yeah, they can air it out. Kingsley Pearson, good quarterback. Bo Goodwin, we've talked about him before. He plays both ways, so we'll take it as you will, but we'll both roll with Woodbury Central here. We'll go to 8-player. There's a lot of good games in 8-player this week. We'll start out 5-0. Winfield Mount Union takes on 4-1 Iowa Valley. Is Winfield Mount Union slipping up this week, Paul, or are they going to take care of business here against Iowa Valley?
No. I think they're going to take care of business. Their schedule, like looking at it, it's kind of been loaded. Winfield Mount Union. They played some good teams, so it's not even like one of those like a good 5-0 team playing like easy schedule, kind of coasted. I think they're going to be ready. Cam Buffington's, I think it's a consensus pick that he's the best player in 8-man. Like not even close. Yeah. So, and that's no offense to anyone else. The dude's been a freak. I mean, look at the Winfield Mount Union stat leaders page. It's Cam Buffington. Passing.
You made me think he was leading in passing yards. I'm like, what happened to Edwards?
Yeah. Nah. And Jake Edwards has been great.
That's the thing. Like, Jake Edwards has been phenomenal, and nobody's talking about him. So it's like, they're a really good team. I think Winfield Mount Union goes undefeated the rest of the way. Our game of the week. Oh, go ahead.
Iowa Valley did lose to Waco, and Waco got beat by Winfield Mount Union.
Okay. Process of, yep, okay.
Elimination. That's how high school football works.
Our 8-player game of the week, 4-1 Glidden Ralston versus 4-1 Audubon. I tell you what, I sat on this one for a while. You picked Audubon. Almost everybody picked Audubon, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not picking Audubon. I like Glidden Ralston. Only losses to Arweva by 1 point. I think this will be a great game. I'm not kidding. I think this will be a great game. But I like Glidden Ralston's defense. They're not giving up near as many points as Audubon's been giving up.
Yeah, there you go. I like that reasoning. I went mainly Audubon because of their home field advantage they're going to have here. And I like their winning in St. Edmund. What's up?
Yeah, they're older, aren't they? Like most of their aren't most of their top guys older?
Yeah, junior quarterback, senior running back, senior wide receiver, sophomore leading tackler. So.
Yeah. I'll take the
Glidden Ralston doesn't have a single senior as their leaders.
Yeah. I think it's 2 juniors and 2 sophomores, but they're the same kid, I think.
Yeah.
Wild. I like the Wildcats, though. I think they get the job done on the road. I think this will be a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be like a 50-50. I think this will be like a 20-30 type game. But I'll take Glidden Ralston.
Photographer for this game?
I don't think so.
There we go.
I don't think I got one. We'll do some research into that maybe. I found this is so off topic, but Dyke New Hartford, if we need Dyke New Hartford photos, which we don't because I have another photographer going to their game against MFO Marmac this week, but there's a guy that takes a ton of photos for Dyke New Hartford, both volleyball and the football team, and it's all on Facebook. So that's great. We always give you credit, but I just thought that was pretty awesome. Cool. Facebook's got some gems, man. If you need photos. Second to last one, Paul, this is my upset pick of the week. You didn't give your upset pick of the week, but Arweva at 4-1 takes on Remsen St. Mary's at 5-0. It's pretty simple. I think Arweva's played a little bit tougher schedule, and Remsen has looked good, but I don't think they've looked outstanding. I'll probably be so wrong on this game, but you know what? I'm going to swing for the fences. I think the 18-game winning streak ends tomorrow night or tonight, whenever you listen to this, and Arweva takes down Remsen St. Mary's.
I like the pick, but I've got to rock with Remsen because I put them in the dome.
All right.
Got to hold true to my word. And, they don't lose, man. I'm gonna die on the hill of this 18-game winning streak. If they blow an 18-game winning streak, then okay, I got it wrong.
All right. Does the Boyer Valley game concern you at all?
It does. That's like a pretty bad look.
It's a weird game.
Yeah.
Weird game. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But Arweva, I'm taking you. Remsen, put me on your bulletin board. I'm sorry. But I had to pick an upset. I'm going to go with this one. Last one I'm going to throw up because I think this could get interesting if things go BGM's way. 5-0 Gladbrook Rhinebeck takes on 3-2 BGM. We talked about Bo Burns a little bit. You posted about him this past week. Because of it, I just had to laugh at that photo because that's the only photo we had of Bo. But can BGM pull off the upset this week, Paul?
I don't know about that.
Here's the thing. Their defense is not built to win this game.
And I would say Gladbrook Rhinebeck's defense has been probably one of the best defenses.
Well, you didn't have to bring that up. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Burns, stud, man, but I mean, probably. I think he is the only player over 2,000 yards right now, right?
He's close to. Does it worry you, like, when you're picking teams or looking at games, and the quarterback is also the leading rusher? Because for me, that just kind of worries me because I'm like, well, what happens if the quarterback's not on his A game? Like, that just means they don't have another guy. Like, you just lost your lead passer and your lead rusher if he's not having a good game. That's also kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, but most of the time I think of it as, like, a Bo Burns level guy, like, I mean, he's gonna he's gonna rest the ball. Like, I don't know. I've been on Gladbrook all year. I see them winning this game, but BGM, man, sneaky, just because of Bo Burns. But
I want a Gladbrook Rhinebeck Winfield Mount Union state title game. I just feel like it'd be phenomenal. But we'll see what happens as we go forward. But we'll both take Ladbroke Rhinebeck in that one. So, well, that's all we got for Class 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, A, and 8 player. We appreciate everyone for listening to Bound to Talk Football. We will be back Monday for our recap episode of Week 6. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to everybody for watching. We had like over 1,000 views on the Dome podcast preview, or the Dome podcast. The Dome predictions, because everybody just wanted to laugh at us. That's probably what it was. That's how I saw it. But we're closing in on 200.
100% accurate.
Yeah, well, that too. I mean, that's just clickbait. That's easy. Get those clicks. And almost 200 subscribers. So thanks everybody for listening and watching. We appreciate it. He's Paul Arridge. I'm Blake Walker. Enjoy your football Friday. We'll be back on Monday. Thanks for watching Bound to Talk Football. We'll see you next month.
Happy Friday.